Hello, welcome back to Sushi Live Noding. In this episode, we're gonna take a look at this node setup that I create in Blender using Sverchok add-on, and you can see the final result is basically something like this. So it's a it's a text object. The text object itself is still live, and I can change the text at any time if I like. You can see in the outliner in the scene we just have text objects, and I actually hide the original text on layer number 2, so I can change it to gently whips, something like that, and it's gonna update, still gonna do the effects. So it's actually pretty basic. You might have seen these effects done in other software like Houdini or Cinema 4D or maybe Maya. But the idea is that so I started with text objects, and I know I will be modifying the text object, and I'm using remesh because without the remesh, the text will be slightly less natural. So I remesh the text, and by remeshing the text, we're gonna have some kind of grid over the text. So the result is definitely more natural. And if you have seen the effects of like text falling down like a waterfall, this is also kind of similar. But I'm using noise to do the interpolations. But anyhow, let's dig down into the nodes itself. Let's change the color a little bit. Oops. Okay, blue looks good. So what I have here, I source the text itself, and then turn on the pause modifier, and we have the original position of the text, and we also have this text that already been moved in y-axis. I move it up, I believe, so I can still control this. I can make the text kind of moving from the side, for example, and we still get that kind of effect. But I like it in the y-axis, so it's kind of like sweeping text or whipping or melting text. Yeah. So just the whole effect is actually the one that's responsible is this of course vector lerp. So this guy is doing the whole thing. If I get rid of the vector, and it's just like, it's lerping linear interpolations between vertices position A and vertices position B. And if I plug that in, there's this easing. If I unplug that, so the easing is really just adding that kind of animations, and I can do it for the whole text. So that's it's pretty cool. If you want to separate each letter for the text, that's also possible, but I believe that's easier to be done using animation nodes. This using Sverchok, you can actually goes inside each and every vertices, basically. So this is what I actually did here. So for each and every vertices, I kind of like giving an offset, and the offset is making I'm also using noise. If I get rid of noise, this is much more, this is actually like each vertices get the offset by a little bit. But if I use noise like this, in this case pearly noise, we get that kind of melting effects. But this I can easily change the noise. I can use other noise for noise or cell noise. Cell noise is always the one that's kind of interestingly it's looking really nice. I don't know how to explain it, but cell noise is always kind of cool, I think. So that's also kind of interesting. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Actually, the whole thing is currently being controlled procedurally by the frame info. So the frame info is lerping each and every vertices of the text. Yeah. So in general, if I think if I use a monkey head, and if I actually remesh it, oh, actually I don't need to remesh it, but if I source the monkey head, we should actually be able to do the same effects to the monkey head. Well, probably have to do it in different axes, but as a silhouette, it's kind of working nicely. So that's also kind of nice. But for now, we're just gonna use the text, because text is simpler, but text is also, you know, text or typography is always kind of neat. There you go, nothing too fancy. I think it can be improved in a lot of ways. Like you can also do the sorting of the vertices, so you might get a more controllable text effects. But I think my sorting is kind of strange there, but you can do it in many different ways basically. So by sorting, you already get different kind of effects. Maybe don't worry about that too much for now. So yeah, probably a little bit nicer effect is that we can, so we are doing it on each vertices, but if we can kind of control how it's melting, like at the same time with slight offset, similar to this, but maybe here, so there is a multiplier, and here instead of multiply I can use maybe minimum or maximum. That's okay, minimum maximum is doing nothing. Maximum, or maybe round. Oh, nothing. So sign, no, maybe it's not sign, but add. Oh, add is giving nothing. Oh, because this guy is disconnected. So that's add, nothing too interesting. So back to multiply. So I think this is pretty good. So with such a simple setup, we have this kind of a melting text effect. Yeah, maybe you can modify it at some point and make it more useful for whatever you're doing, but that's pretty much it. Hopefully you find this useful. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.